Ciao everybody, I'm so glad you're here. This is kind of a little different than my regular monthly video recap because I want to do some channel updates and some of the things on my channel that will be changing slightly as we go into 2026. And the video recap is the first on that list. Those of you that are not new to my channel, you know that it's a struggle for me every month to do this recap. And one of the reasons is I make so much jewelry and it is so much work to go back through all the pieces that I've made in a month and try them on and set them up. I'm looking down at my tray and I am doing things a little bit differently this month and going forward. Instead of trying to do a recap of every single project that I made, every single pair of earrings, which is what I've been doing, and I get behind because it's so daunting. And I also change my camera angle. I have a different tripod for these videos, and it's just a lot of work. And then editing these videos is also really a lot of work because I try to put a link to every single video that I did, every tutorial in the order that I'm showing it in the recap video. And so I have to go back through a whole month's worth of work several different ways. And so I end up avoiding it is what's been happening. I end up avoiding it because it's just so much work. And really this camera thing is not my forte. I really like to make jewelry. So what I'm gonna do going forward is to pick out my very favorite projects from the month, or projects that I think might have been really excellent as far as a design or some kind of a technique that I feel like maybe you might all be interested in. So I'm going to be a little bit more choosy, and it's also going to make the recap videos not so long. So that will be a good thing. And so the other thing that is going to be new on my channel in 2026, and we did add about quite a few thousand, maybe almost 6,000 subscribers to the community in 2025. And that is so exciting. So those of you that are returning, forgive me for being repetitive, but we have like newer people coming in and they might not have heard like all the things, that I normally do here. So I might repeat a little bit, and I'm sorry for that. For those of you that are returning, because I have really made some amazing friends through this channel and through jewelry making, and the support that I have felt from you guys is unbelievable. I'm just like, again, those of you that have been here before and that correspond with me a lot, you know how I feel about that. I'm extremely grateful and I never forget about that. But for like newer people, maybe you don't realize that I have set up my channel so that there are playlists for all the different things that I make. So there is a playlist just for necklaces. There's a playlist just for bracelets, just for rings. There's a playlist for all the different bead companies because I review a lot of boxes every month. And so like there's one for just Sam's bead box. There's one for just Bargain bead box, one for Dee Dee's Deluxe bead box, and so on and so forth. And so last year in 2025, I created a playlist that I worked on all year long, and it was called Pearls Reimagined, Not Your Nona's Pearls. I don't recall how many videos I put on that playlist, but if you were interested in making really avant-garde, updated, contemporary pearl designs and you wanted some ideas, like all those videos were there. And there are Baroque pearls and freshwater pearls and colorful pearls in that video, and really cool things to do besides just stringing pearls or putting a knot in between or putting a spacer bead in between. And so I've chosen a new theme to start a new playlist for 2026. And I'm just going to preface this by saying that I don't have a single video ready for the playlist, but I do have 5 or 6 designs that I have sketched. And so it's going to be a jump ring art playlist, and not what you think. I don't do chain mail and that kind of thing that you can do with jump rings, but some of the really cool things that jewelry designers and artists can do with our simple little friend, the jump ring. They're so powerful in design, and I find myself problem solving with them and creating cool chains with them and all kinds of other things with jump rings. And so I'm going to create a playlist and add to it all through 2026 on just cool designs with jump rings. And like I said, not what you think, because it's not going to be the chainmail patterns that you can do. I don't do that. So if that's what you're interested in, I don't know how to do that. So that's not going to be here, but I think it'll be really fun and interesting. And like I said, I have some really cool ideas even to just start off. So another update to my channel, and again, those of you that have been here before, you know that for almost 2 years, I have been uploading a video nearly every day. I take a day off here and there. And, it's gotten to the point where when I would take a day off and not upload a video, I would get messages saying, "Are you okay? Is your son okay?" Because I have a disabled child and we've been in and out of the hospital a lot this year. And so for that reason, I'm sure that my dear friends, when I missed a day, you thought, well, maybe something had happened. But I am going to scale back. I had intended to do it last year, but I review so many bead boxes and I really try to not just do an unboxing, but give a design idea, at least do a small project in every video and not just do an unboxing. Unboxings are obviously easier because I don't need to do a sketch. I don't really have to plan much out. But I work really hard on my channel. It's my passion project. It's been the most amazing job that I've ever had. And since I'm a caregiver to my son, I can stay at home and do my work and be close to him and really spend my time with him. And so I love it for that reason, but I do work really hard on my videos, and I don't think that a lot of other channels do everything that I do to produce a video, because I have shown you guys my sketchbook here and there, but a lot of times I do sketches. I do a lot of research on jewelry styles, like what this was in the 1920s, like hand chains come to mind because they have made a resurgence in design and in fashion through the decades. So I really work hard on that, and it takes me almost an entire day to produce a video because of designing first and then setting up my mat. I do like antique dishes and things like that. And then I, of course, film, but then I take a lot of time photographing the finished pieces and doing really close-up videos to put at the end of the tutorial so you can really see the design. If it's something that you like or something you had questions, you can really get a close-up, and that takes a lot of time. And then all of that gets sent over to the computer, and I spend a lot of time editing. I try to overlay pictures or charts or information or whatever I think you might need to make the projects. And then I spend a lot of time in my description boxes because if I have brought anything in from my stash, or if I have found any great finds that I can share, I take the time to do all those links in every description box. And I also use another program and do some graphic arts to create really pretty thumbnails, and that takes some time. So like literally, I will work all day on a 30-minute video. So hence, for the last 2 years, I've been working about 70 hours a week, and it's not sustainable. And so going into 2026, I'm going to shoot for 4 videos a week. And, I want to keep my quality, and I want to keep like really innovative designs. I do have a design background. Some of my newer friends might not have heard that over, the course of the videos. And so for that reason, I'm just going to try to scale back. So my darling friends who check on me when I miss a day uploading, everything's fine and I'm not stopping. I just need to do a little bit better scheduling. I need to balance a little bit better. A lot of you that watch my videos, you know that I do a power walk every morning, and I really try not to miss. But since I started my YouTube channel, I have been missing. And, you know, I share the wildlife that I see. We have alligators in the ponds and lakes right around my neighborhood. Recently, I saw a family of baby raccoons. We have sandhill cranes, we have ducks, we have every kind of bird. There are all kinds of little reptiles and hawks, and, you know, all. It's just a really beautiful thing that I do for myself, and it keeps me mentally healthy and, you know, helps me to cope. And so between that and making jewelry, I always tell all my friends that, you know, better than any medicine I've ever taken to deal with anxiety or stress. So I want to have time to do that, and I have committed to an exercise program and yoga, which is something that, again, because it takes me so much effort to produce a video every single day for my channel, that those things get pushed aside, and they're really important for me as I get older. So I don't really make New Year's resolutions, but maybe this kind of is one. But that's going to be a little change that you guys will see on my channel, is like maybe 4 videos a week. It's going to be challenging because I review so many bead boxes, and so many of the boxes want me to do 2 videos with their beads, and I try to anyway because the beads are so beautiful and the boxes are so amazing. I feel like I can't do it justice if I just do one fast video. And a lot of the companies, the bead companies that I work with, they have specific requirements on when they want the videos to go up on YouTube. And I always try to accommodate that and, you know, be on time with those. And so it's going to be a challenge, but maybe by telling you all that I'm planning to shoot for 4 videos a week going into 2026, maybe I'll be, you know, be good at it, be better about balancing everything. So there is that. And then the other change coming to my channel, I have always, since the beginning, if you tap my picture on any one of the videos, it takes you to the main channel page, and that's where you will find all my playlists. You'll find the community posts where I've posted any pictures you guys have shared with me of your work, or any announcements or any sales that I know of, or links. If you guys have asked me for links to anything, I a lot of times put a post there and put links. And so also on that main channel page, you will see links to my Pinterest page and also my Poshmark shop. I am not very big at posting things. I prefer to read. I don't do much of the doom scrolling, and I get a lot done because I don't spend a lot of time scrolling social media. And there's, you know, pros and cons to being the way that I am, but it's just not my thing. I don't love it. But I am going to start putting some of the things that you guys have seen me make for sale on my Poshmark shop. And so as we go into 2026, I'm going to try to remember if I've done a tutorial or if I've made a project that is going to be for sale on my Poshmark shop, in case any of you are interested. And I'm only saying this because I've had so many people reach out and say, where can I buy your jewelry? Do you sell your jewelry? And I know most of you probably prefer to make your own jewelry, so it's not something I've really done. But I give away a lot. I donate a lot of jewelry. I make a lot of gifts for friends year round, and things that I really love. And like, I'm looking at one thing that I did this month that I am totally in love with. I use the same technique that we use for making the beaded pins, and I did bracelet buddies, and I ordered these from Amazon, the blanks, and I did a tutorial on how to bead them and how to like really get your bead patterns to fit well, and also like how to get little charms like in the middle, how to use charm holders, and you know, just the tips and tricks on how to get charms on the end. And I did a sample one for, you know, before I started the video, because again, that's why my videos, that's why I feel like I want the quality, is because I do take the time to like create a sample. And then I did one in the video, and I wanted one. So the one I did in the video was for me, but the sample one was just to show you guys a finished product before I started filming. So I'm gonna put this for sale on my Poshmark shop. And like I said, the link is on that main page that will take you to my shop. And So that's one of the new things that I haven't really been doing for the last couple of years. So those of you that ask, where can I buy your jewelry? That is where it will be. I'm not going to put everything for sale, because those of you that sell your jewelry online, you know that that's a whole nother job. Like photographing, you have to do 6 to 8 photographs of every piece. And when you're selling online, things must be measured. And it's, you have to do good photographs. You have to take the time to type a really good listing. I put an anti-tarnish coating on all of my things. Those of you that have been on my channel before, you know that I found this Permalac anti-tarnish coating, and I always have it on hand, and it's always linked in my description boxes, because I did sell my jewelry on beach boutiques around Florida. And the shop owners charge a lot for handmade jewelry in those shops, but they want you to use gold-filled findings or anti-tarnish findings, and it's very expensive to keep those supplies on hand. And then I was trying to use a can of Krylon spray, which does work, but I would go in my hot garage with newspaper and lay my pieces out, and with a can of Krylon, try to spray just the metal and not the beads, and it was really a pain. And so when I found the Permalac, I just love it. It's like a little bottle of nail polish. I can sit right at my work table when I'm finished filming or when I'm finished making a piece, brush this on all the metals. It dries within a minute, and it's just the bomb. So I always link that in my description box. So that is another new thing coming to my channel. And let's see. I have in the past, and again, since there's so many thousands of people that joined my channel this year, you might not realize that I have really shared my bead organization with everyone, and it might be helpful because it's not glamorous. Even though this is my business and my work, I don't have a jewelry studio. Maybe one day I will, but I don't. So I have had to use the space that I have to work with and organize myself and keep my supplies. And so I have done videos on how I do that, but I've got an updated one coming for 2026. So that is forthcoming. And, maybe you'll glean some ideas if you are like me and you don't have an actual bead room or a jewelry studio. I mean, that would be a dream. I think most of us that love our projects here would agree, but it's not in the cards for me right now. So I'm really happy with the way that I have figured out how to organize and keep my space clean, find things that I need to find, and not waste time digging through, boxes and bins. So that video will be coming. And I think that's kind of all of my updates for this year. I have been posting a little bit with my Bead Society group, the Orlando Bead Society, and I will continue to do that this year. I will continue to put some of my wildlife and some of my morning walks, a little bit of that footage at the end of my videos. And also I have a bead group that I started, and I met a couple new people this year that are going to join in. So, and we have a spring soiree coming up. So I will also continue to make videos and share that with you guys as well. Oh, and there was one other thing that I just remembered. That's going to be coming. You've kind of seen a little bit of it already, but about 20 years ago, I was really into bead weaving, really into bracelets, needle and thread work, and I got burned out on it. I mean, I was eating and sleeping like bead weaving. I couldn't put it down. I just loved it so much, and I got to where I got burned out on it, and I kind of set that aside to start making boho beads and to do some wire work and some stringing. And I really started loving the Brazilian waxed cord with the knotting techniques. And I really just completely set aside any needle and thread work. And so some of you may have noticed in the last year that I've been sprinkling in some of those videos on my channel, which I hesitated because there are so many channels, like thousands of them, that only do bead weaving. And I was thinking, what can I actually bring to the table that's different than what's already out there? But what I think that I bring is maybe my design ideas with the beaded projects that I'm doing. And, I go slow with my tutorials. So if you've never done it before, most people are telling me that my explanations are easy to follow. So, and since I love to do it, and I've had fallen in love again with bead weaving with needle and thread projects, you're going to be seeing a little bit more of that coming in this year. So if you're one of my friends that says, oh, no, I don't do needle and thread work, I hope you'll reconsider, because the projects that I have coming are delightful and easy and amazing and almost therapeutic, like really relaxing. And for those of you that, have issues with your eyes, your hands, I mean, I do too, but you can change up the size of the beads. You don't have to work with 15 O's. You can actually do most of the projects with larger beads. So it's going to be really fun. And so that's another new thing. And that's going to bring me to my little review, my video review or my recap for this month, for the month of December 2025. And there's a few things from November, because I actually did a video recap like in the middle of November thinking, oh yay, I'm ahead, I'm not late. And then of course I didn't do another one because, like I said, these videos are a lot of work for me and I have to reset everything. Like, I have moved my tripod out of the way. I have a different light when I face the camera. So everything is different. I have to move everything. I have to clear my mat. And then, in order to go back to work, I have to take all that away and set it up. And so that's what's been happening, is that I avoid doing it because I think, oh, I'm not going to do that today. But so speaking of the bead weaving, one of my favorite projects, well, I'm wearing one of them. I got into this winter, and keep in mind, I'm a Florida girl. So snowflakes, snowmen, icicles, all of that is just my favorite things because it's a novelty for me. And those of you that are freezing cold and you can't go out for days on end, and you're probably saying she is crazy, but Florida girls, this is kind of a novelty. So I got really into making little snowflakes with needle and thread. And once I made the snowflakes, I could not stop designing with them. So I connected 3 of them for this necklace. I connected 3 of them, all different beads, same exact pattern, same exact steps, but different beads to make this little snowflake dangle. And I'll slip this earring out and put this one in just to show you. And I have to tell you guys, I have gotten so many compliments on my snowflake earrings. Aren't they just wonderful? I mean, this is the only snow that we Floridians are going to get to enjoy this year. So I just love them. But I even did a little tiny, just a single snowflake. Just a single, and it's so dangly the way that in my video I showed you guys how to add 1 bead at the top for a jump ring. And this year I've been really involved in making my own ear wires, and the really big swooping ear wires give you a lot of dangle, but even a single snowflake in your ear is just so sweet and lovely. So that's one of my bead weaving projects. And I have a really close friend, and this type of work frustrates her, but she ended up doing all snowflake earrings for Christmas gifts. I think she told me she did 10 or 12 pairs and just loved it. So I really plan on, in the coming year, making the projects like that, so that even if you don't really do needle and thread work, you will still be able to do these. And so speaking of making your own ear wires and needle and thread work, I did a video on these gorgeous cylinder beads made out of super duos, and this is one of my big, bold ear wires that I made. And I've been putting that in a lot of my videos, but that's just one of the pairs that I made. And when I started making this beaded bead, I did 2 sections of the super duos. I'm sorry, this is a 3, this is a 2. And once I was finished with the beaded bead, I had so much fun designing earrings, necklaces, and bracelets with the technique. I mean, I just had so much fun with just playing with different ways to use this gorgeous handmade beaded bead. So those are a couple of my earrings. I've got quite a few, you guys. I had so much fun with that. Look at these. This is like all the things. This is kind of looks like a little lantern, and I used a link that I cut off of a chain. And then this is one of my big oversized hoops, handmade, and it just dangles, and it just like the beadwork is just really featured. I mean, I love these beads so much, and it was a little bit addictive because I kept thinking, oh, well, before I stop making them, I want to try another color combination. So I even did, let me pull this one up to the camera. I even like used them as the topping for a design, and then did the same elements for the center of a metal flower. And just you get a completely different look. I just think they're just stunning. Let's see. Oh, I have so many, you guys. I have so many. And this is exactly why I'm going to start picking just my favorite projects for each month, so that these videos will not be too terribly long. Look at this one. Isn't it gorgeous? I mean, these are so fun, and honestly, anybody could make these. I really believe that anybody could make these. And in my video, I went really, really slow. And the cool thing about these as well is that you don't need a lot of beads. You need 5 super duos per color. So if you're doing like this one, if you're doing an earring that, has 3 colors, you need 15 super duos, and that's it, and some seed beads. And so I did my all-in-one. This is like a head pin earring that it's just a ball head pin, and I threaded my bead and my spacers, and then it goes right into being the ear wire. So you don't need an earring back, you don't need anything, and they're easy to take in and out of your ears, and you get a little bit of swing, but they're just beautiful. It's my favorite style of earring to make, and coincidentally, this one is done with some Super Duo minis and another little bit larger size Super Duo. So if you have different sizes of Super Duos, you can use those together. And I talked about that in the video. So I did talk about that. Oh, and you guys, I'm not done. Like I said, I think I might have given a warning in the video how addictive it is. So I have these anti-tarnish brass chains, and so I did one of those Super Duo beads, and just it floats on the chain. It just floats right on the chain. And I want to do more of these because I just love it as just a kind of a minimalist cylinder bead necklace. And it just like slides. It's a slider bead. It just slides up and down on the chain. And then I have worn my bracelets, like literally, I have worn my bracelets every day. I think even if I wore a different color shirt, I still had my bracelets on. And so I showed in the video a couple of different ways to use the beads for making chain. It's like a beaded chain with beaded beads. It's like jewelry on steroids. It's so good. I mean, it's just so good. I just cannot stop wearing those. I had to have a necklace as well. So look at the necklace. The beaded beads become like bead stations in the necklace, and this one I did it super long so it doesn't have a clasp. It just like pops over my head. I'm gonna back my noisy chair up and just show you, but look at that. Isn't that the coolest? I can't get back far enough, but isn't that beautiful? And I have to tell you guys, if you didn't see my video at my Bead Society meeting, we go around and we look at everybody's work and see what everybody's working on. My chair's gonna pop. I need a new chair so badly. But the ladies at my Bead Society meeting made me feel so good because 4 or 5 people wanted to take pictures of my necklace and my beaded bead. It was a big hit, and those ladies do amazing, really, really amazing work. So the fact that they wanted to take a picture of anything that I made just made me feel so good. But this was probably my favorite project that month. And then, as I said, I'm like really falling back in love with needle and thread work. And I have heard from so many of you about this video, the granny squares. So these are very beginner friendly, and my tutorial is very slow and very easy. And once you learn to make the squares, you can do anything that you want with them. So this is 4 of the squares connected together, and I embellished with like a little enamel bow. But let me show you what else you can do. So like I said, once you make your squares, you can connect them any way that you want. So I did 3 of the little granny squares that match, and I put an extender chain on my bracelet, which I usually put them on this way. And you can like connect them any way that you want, you know, corner to corner is what I mean. And then like, look at the little earring. I put a bow at the top of the granny square, and like, is the camera focusing? Not really. Try. But they're just so, oh, I still have this earring in. They're just so sweet, and you know, not a lot of work. It's a pretty fast project to do. And then I even showed you guys how to make your own ear wire and slip that through the woven part to make like a little square that goes like the square is hanging right from the ear wire. So you get a little bit of dangle, but it really stays facing forward. And I just love these. I had so much fun, and I still have beads in a tray to do more of these. And I did hear from a lot of you that these truly are beginner friendly. We did this at my pajama party bead soiree that I do at my house. And one of our friends, my friend Lillian, she had never threaded a needle. And you should see her. She did such a great job with this. And I asked her, I said, Lillian, can I tell everybody that these really are beginner friendly? And she said, oh yes. And she absolutely loved hers. And she showed her sister a picture. She was on the phone with her sister of her granny square earrings. And her sister said, oh, make me a pair. I want a pair just like that. So they're really well loved. Okay, and then I did both of Sam's bead boxes, November and December, and they were my favorite projects this month, among my favorites. Like I say, my video recap now is going to be my favorite projects. And so there were these beautiful quartz coin beads that are faceted in the Sam's bead box. This bracelet was part of a collection that I created with, it was the Emerald City box. And I particularly left this one sort of devoid of color, just the quartz and gold, so that this could layer with other things that I've made. So I did this little adjustable bracelet that I've been wearing a lot. And these are the earrings to match that. And they were not from Sam's bead box. They were from, I don't even remember. I think these were from my stash. And I just made my own ear wires, and I did a bracelet to match, because for me, that's my favorite kind of a set, is earring and bracelet sets. But this Sam's bead box, I have it mixed in here with the other special Sam's bead box that I did. So let me get to it and I'll share it with you guys. Let's see. I think that's those 3 are from the special box. So the Emerald City box had not only emerald colored beads in it, like these beautiful check glass beads, and I made an artisan chain, and it's fully adjustable. I did some fancy wire working on it, but it also had cobalt in the box. These beautiful check glass cobalt beads were in the box, and there were other things. There was some cathedral beads in this beautiful ruby red, and some beautiful nugget pearls, and just the box was just absolutely beautiful. So I ended up doing a whole bracelet collection that you can stack, mix and match, and like all the jewel tones. And so it was one of my favorite boxes for the whole year. And I did earrings to go with it too. Yes. I did 2 pairs of earrings, and I made my own ear wires on both pairs, and I am going to try these on for you because they are so sweet. Green is not like my go-to color. I am a pink, white, and gold girl, and purple. I like purples too, but I love these with the green and the cobalt. I think they're just beautiful. They have just the right amount of dangle. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I love the size of the ear wires on these, and the component here that makes the earring is exactly the same component and design. It really is a collection. It's exactly the same one that I did for the bracelets. And then same thing on this one, but I just reconfigured it. Same component, same idea, all those jewel tones from the box, but I did this one a little bit longer and just kind of reversed. But they're so fun. And with earrings like this, you can just pop this on and you're already dressed up. A t-shirt, I mean, that's what I have on a t-shirt, and, you know, fancy earrings, and you look polished and, you know, pulled together. And so I just loved Sam's bead box this month. And then I equally loved Dee Dee's deluxe bead box this month. It was called Champagne Gala. And so this was one of the pairs of earrings that I did with that box. It's a designer beaded chain, and I use the chain for other things, and I have worn these. And I also did a bracelet, the Inspired by Check strand that's always in a Dee Dee's deluxe bead box is just amazing. And when I cut it open, I just loved these rhombus beads, and there was a check glass flower, and there was a strand of these really sparkly crystals in the box. And so I love these chain bracelets that are adjustable, and they have, you know, this pretty little drop on the end. I love to have that little bit of, as you see, I always have a little bit of dangle coming off of my bracelets. But also, I cannot remember now. I think this was actually Sam's bead box, this earring that I really loved. I'm pretty sure this was Sam's bead box. And again, one of my ball head pins, and just that all in one, like stack your beads and then, you know, make your ear wire out of the same thing. And I find these sit in my piercings so beautifully, and I take them in and out so easily. And I love the little bit of dangle. I feel like it lights up our face when we just have that little, you know, little bit of dangle. So yeah, that was also part of these check glass drops were part of Sam's bead box. See, that's what happens to me. I make so much jewelry that when I get to this time of reviewing everything, I can't remember what even came from what box. So the other thing that I have here is the cherry collection from Jesse James Beads. So this was a video that I did for their channel, but it also appeared on my channel. And it is just absolutely the most beautiful collection of beads. It has these little gold and pave cherry drops, and it just this little strands of beads. I mean, I can't even like show you all the beads in the strand, but I did a set of stretch bracelets and connected them together with jump rings, and then I can just pull them on, and they just look like this really cool bracelet stack. Let me get my cherries to face in the right direction so they'll dangle. But so I did like a little stack of bracelets, and you know, coincidentally, I just love it when the bead boxes work with each other. So there were a lot of jewel tones and a lot of reds and emeralds, and I love being able to stack the pieces from the different boxes that I have made. And so there was also in this collection the most amazing chain. Look at this heart chain. And so I turned the chain into a little bit more of a statement by connecting two sections of it. And it also has one of the little cherries on the end on the extender chain. And then this has crystals that hang off of bracelet on both sides. So that is just really beautiful. And I loved the chain so much that I took a little bit of a length of it, and this was from the bead mix, the Cherry Collection bead mix, this really beautiful pearl. It's, I mean, and the crystals and everything in that collection are just gorgeous. So I love chain earrings anyway, so I just made this like heart and chain dangly earring, and I just like it hits me right. It's kind of like a shoulder duster. It hits me just in the right spot, and that was just with 3 links of the chain from the Cherry Collection. It just a beautiful, beautiful collection. And then I also loved the Potomac Beads treasure box this month. And this is the coolest necklace. It has no clasp. It's almost 60 inches long. I did it with needle and thread, so it's very relaxed, just really enjoyable stringing, and it is a bunch of little individual patterns that just one runs right into the next, so like pattern blocking. And it was called Festive Radiance because it was a mix of pink and orange and even a teeny bit of kind of, I want to say red, but it's really like a burgundy. But I love this color combination. So I did this super long necklace that just pops over my head, and I can layer it with other things. You know, I can do a double strand. I can pull it so that I have a long strand and a short strand. Like, you can adjust this for whatever neckline you're wearing. You can also like wear it long and tie a knot in it. You can, you know, just kind of find, like, there was some of the Potomac pearls in the box. And so you can actually tie a knot so that you're kind of featuring, tie it like, so there's a pearl in the knot, you know, and wear it really, really long, which I love this. This is down like really past my shirt, and I love that. But you can double up your knot because you have the length to, like, you know, tie a loose knot and make it a really chunky knot, or tie several knots. Like, this type of a necklace is so fun to play with. It really is. And I love pink and orange. I wish you guys could see my patio, because I decorated my whole patio in pink and orange with some flamingos out there and some just really like happy things. Okay, and then one of my other favorite things, I had done a video, I can't remember now if it was the end of November or December, but 3 of the bead boxes just worked together. It was Bargain Bead Box, my Adornable Elements 2-hole Beads of the Month Club, and I can't remember what the third box was that was in that video. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. See, I make too much jewelry. But I did this double strand bracelet that only has one crimp. It's one of my favorite ways to string a bracelet. It has like an infinity loop, like a loop on each end, and it has a check glass moon button on one side. And I just love this. These 2-hole crescent beads just sit up on the bracelet, and I love the little moon face, and it was just one of my favorite bracelets. And I love the purple and copper, and I love being able to mix my bead boxes, like use Bargain Bead Box and Adornable Elements. I really love that. So I have, oh, I really need a new chair. It's so squeaky. I have to show you guys. This was also a pair of earrings from Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box, the Champagne Gala. The findings, these are gorgeous. And I said in the video, I don't love chandelier earrings. It's not my favorite go-to earring, but I absolutely think these are gorgeous. This finding was amazing. It is not only that it's filigree and it's really dimensional, but it's the shape too. It's just a really, really cool shape. So I didn't get too crazy with the dangles on the bottom, because, as I said, for me, a chandelier earring is not something that I go for a lot. But I just love these. They're absolutely stunning, and I will keep those. If you're not familiar with Adornable Elements, it is Beads of the Month Club, and they offer 6 different clubs. So I started out with them because they do Delicas of the Month, and as I've explained, I'm really getting back into my bead weaving, my needle and thread work, but they also have Seed Beads of the Month Club, and I loved the idea of getting a curated collection of seed beads or Delica seed beads every month. But they also have 2-hole Beads of the Month Club, check glass Beads of the Month, hot and trendy Beads of the Month, which is like upcoming bead color stories and finishes and shapes, like trending ones. And so I started to rotate all the clubs, and I never know what I'm going to get, which I love getting that surprise in the mail, knowing it's going to be curated, it's going to be a collection, but I don't know if it's going to be check glass, or they also have Gemstones of the Month. I might be forgetting one, but the one that I got last month was Hot and Trendy Beads of the Month, and I just loved it. It was really beautiful. I did this adorable little simple bracelet. These are just these little pellet beads fit together really beautifully. There was this beautiful triangular Picasso wash check glass bead, and I mixed in some of, you know, a few spacer beads and things from my stash, but I love having another like red and gold and coffee cream colored bracelet. And like I said, it works back to the other bead boxes this month. So I just did that little bracelet, but then I came back in another video, and I'm gonna put this on because again, this is not normally my style of earring, but I am insane about this. It's so cute. This is a 3-hole bead that's in the middle, and this checkerboard bead was in the box, as well as these Rizo beads. And I made these teacup beads as well. And I made my own ear wire for these that's embellished with the same beads that's in the earring. And it's super easy. It is not needle and thread. It's one crimp, and it's just really a gorgeous pair of earrings, dangly and just absolutely wonderful. So I just love that. And then I mentioned early on in my chit chat about the special Sam's bead box. I did, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 videos now, but the bead box is a past box. It was their December 2023 box called Winter Wanderer. And they had some overstock, or they had done some extra boxes. And so they are offering a discount just to my audience. The code, and I think I don't know if it's sold out, but it went to December 31st was the sale. And the code is only for my audience, and it's in the description box. And it was absolutely stunning, but you could get the box deeply discounted without committing to receiving Sam's Bead Box monthly. And so if you've always wanted to try a Sam's Bead Box, if you have drooled over the check glass and the gemstones that they put, they're just the most amazing box. It's such high quality, you guys. It's one of my favorite boxes, and that was, you know, kind of new for my channel in 2025, and I have thoroughly enjoyed reviewing it and creating with it and sharing it with you. But the Winter Wanderer box was so inspiring. It was these icy Arctic blues and turquoise, and it was really a silvery box. But I made a bracelet. This gorgeous check glass button was in the box, and all kinds of just absolutely gorgeous check glass beads. And so I did a gold and silver bracelet with an extender chain. These wonderful dagger beads were in the box, and I made like a little drop out of one of them. But I also did another one of my adjustable, these Saturn beads were in there. And I just absolutely adored this box. I added just some gold seed beads on this with these sunburst check glass coin beads, and it's adjustable. And so I love that, but I did another adjustable bracelet using some of the beads from the box and some Soft Flex 49 strand bead stringing wire. And again, it's kind of a collection where I can layer my bracelets together. And I just absolutely love the box. It's very easy to make beautiful jewelry when your beads are this high quality that you start with. And I did this gorgeous pair of earrings too, just really to feature the Saturn beads and those gorgeous check glass beads. And I did my beloved all-in-one ear wire design, so they're just all in one, and like this is my style through and through. And I just really love Sam's Bead Box. And so I do have a discount code if you want to receive Sam's Bead Box regularly every month. It helps you with a discount on your first box. But this Winter Wanderer box, I don't know if it's sold out. I didn't take the time to check. I do have to send Rachel an email anyway, but I'll check. But I know the promotion ended at the end of December. Just a great opportunity. If you've always wanted to try a Sam's Bead Box, it's just a great way to get it deeply discounted and, you know, like really enjoy having it without committing to a monthly box is what I meant to say. So I know my review wasn't super quick this time because I wanted to do the channel kind of news and updates, but going forward, my video recaps are going to be a little bit shorter and not so yakety yak. But I did want to share that, and I'm so grateful to have so many new people to the community. I mean, a lot, like thousands of new people, and I'm just like, I can hardly believe that. But we have a lot of fun here, and it's a very kind place, and there is a lot of support for ideas and work, and I just love that, you know, because it's the internet. It's not supposed to be like that, but my channel is that way, and it's all due to you guys, and I'm so glad that we found each other. So I thank you so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and where that little bell is, if you tap the bell and then hit all so that you get all the notifications, then as I try out my new schedule for 2026, you won't, but cat hair, you guys, I have a little kitty cat and I love her to death, but you know, there's cat hair in places. So I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, before I say goodbye, I did not finish with Sam's or Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box. I made necklaces. I felt like I was missing something, and I absolutely was. So let me do the Sam's bead box. I have to put this on. I'll show it to you, but the cathedral beads in the box, and there was a strand of graduated pearls, and I did this dramatic Y necklace, and it is, I put it out here because it really is one of my favorite projects. Look that I did. Look at this Y necklace. Isn't this stunning? I absolutely love this necklace. I think it's just gorgeous. It's classic elements of, you know, gold and pearls, and then that little pop of check glass red, but in a classic Y necklace. And it's so like, I love Y necklaces because I feel like they're very trimming. They elongate me, you know, they make me feel a little taller than I am, and definitely slimmer than I am, but I just love that. And while I am standing up, I'm gonna show you, this was the beautiful Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box, the Champagne Gala. And so for those of you that are newer to my channel, I have these base necklaces. They don't have a clasp on the back. They are front closure with 2 clasps on the front. And then I make these add-in sections. So I'm just gonna pop this one over my head. But I love long necklaces, and when I get beautiful beads, I also like the beads to be where I can play with them and see them. And you know, like I've actually have this one on the opposite way, but I make these so that I can, it's an add-on section, so I can string as many of my add-on necklaces as will fit on my lobster claw clasp. I can make it a multi-strand, a single strand, and the Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box was so gorgeous. I really couldn't decide how to string the beads. I love the crystals and these red beryl beads and these tiny little 4mm pearls. So I made 3 different like chain add-on sections, and I just clip them right on, and I have this really gorgeous multi-strand necklace that I can wear. But I'm gonna take my snowflakes off. I think I probably will put this one for sale on my Poshmark shop, just because I really like long necklaces, so I probably won't wear this, but it's not for lack of loving it. The necklace bar, the finding in the box was absolutely stunning, so I really made it stand out. And this necklace is adjustable. Let me take it off now that I've shown you how it sits on the body. It's adjustable. I created an extender chain, and it has several different places that you can clasp your lobster claw clasp, and I even did like a little charm on the end of the extender chain. But I used the pearls and a pearl rondelle spacer to make this drop. I feel like my camera's not focusing, or my eyes are not focusing, but this bead mix was just stunning, and this gold plated with a CZ in the middle. This was just absolutely stunning. I feel like the camera is not focusing. I want it to focus. But the box, the Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box is always so great. And when I started to say goodbye to you, I did want to mention that her box is one of those ones that I have a certain date that it has to go up. It's the 12th of every month. And by the time you're seeing like the video that I did on this, the 12th is, this box has already been sold out, but the next coming up one is for sale. And she has recently increased her production and there is a larger quantity available. I have heard from so many of you that you have tried and tried to purchase a Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box and could never get one because it's always sold out. It's not a subscription box, so it's first come, first serve. So you have to be, I think it's at noon on the 12th of every month. At 12 Eastern, it goes for sale. And this past month, it didn't sell out really quickly because she has a larger quantity available, and a lot of people I think don't realize that they, you know, if you've never been able to get one in the past, you can probably get one now because she has grown her business a little bit, which is so great. And so if you have always wanted to try a Dee Dee's Deluxe Bead Box, you'll never be disappointed. This Champagne Gala box was absolutely gorgeous. So I just wanted to mention that, and because I have heard from a lot of you that you would like to have one, but you could never get it. And I also have right here off to the side my collaboration box, my next one that I do. It's not even a monthly thing. We do it kind of when we find inspiration or if we found a good, you know, a good bead that we both love. But our winter box, our January box is coming up. I will post when it's available. I have the sample box and I'm ready to do the reveal and design, but Dee Dee's Beads is closed for 2 weeks through the holidays. So we're kind of holding it back because we didn't want people to try to go buy it, and she's not at work right now. So, but that is also coming up, my next collaboration box. And you guys, it's really good, if I do say so myself. Okay, I'm really done and I'm really am gonna say goodbye now. And I thank you so much for watching. And I don't even know if I finished what I was saying when I remembered my necklaces that I didn't get to. But if you tap the bell notification and hit all, then you won't miss my upcoming videos. And so I do have my collaboration box coming up and a bead organizing box coming up, a bead organizing video coming up, and a couple of amazing projects I kind of want to show you. Okay, I'm going to give you a sneak peek because I am working on this video, but this video, I've been working on preparing the designs for this video for weeks. It is a netted bracelet with a check glass button and some different things that you can do with the netting. And so I am working on this video. The piece that we're going to do together in the video is 2/3 of the way done. I ran out of beads and I had to order beads and they're not here. So I had to stop working on that. But those are just some of the things coming up. So subscribe to my channel, and I thank you all so much for watching. I hope this year was good to you, and I hope that everybody is warm and well. And you know, winter's my favorite month, but I know where so many of you live, it can be rough. So I am sending hugs to all of you. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.